and welcome everyone. In today's lesson we're going to look at conditional sentences, also called if sentences. Now, in some languages, conditional is a verb form that you conjugate, but in English, when we say conditional, we are referring to two-part sentences where one part begins with if. Now, let's have a look at definition of conditional sentences. What does it mean? A conditional sentence is a sentence structure commonly used in English to talk about something which is a result that may happen only if something else happens first, which is condition. Okay? And the condition may be something real or unreal. That is to say, hypothetical, and the result could be a definite result or just a possible result. The most common type of conditional sentence uses if. These are the easiest conditional sentences to form and understand. You could also use unless, when, after, before, or as soon as. Here, we will focus just on using conditional sentences with if. Okay? As we know, there are two parts of conditional sentences. These two parts are also called clauses. What is a clause? A clause is any part of a sentence with a subject and a verb. The part 1, the if or condition clause, is the event that needs to occur, also called the dependent clause. Why? Because it is not a complete sentence and is dependent on the second part of the sentence. Let's move to the second part, which is the result or main clause, or what happens when the event in the if condition clause occurs, also called the independent clause. And either part can come first. For example, if I eat too much, I get sick. When the if part comes first, the two parts are separated with a comma, as we see. And I get sick if I eat too much. If we change the order of the sentence, does not mean that the meaning of the sentence change. Okay? Now we move to the types of conditional sentences. There are 4 types, as we know. Let's start by the zero conditional, which is a real or factual conditional. What is the zero conditional? The zero conditional first is used for when the time being referred to is now or always, and the situation is real and possible. The zero conditional is often used to refer to general truths. The tense in both parts of the sentence is the simple present. In zero conditional sentences, the word if can usually be replaced by the word when without changing the meaning, of course. For example, if I eat too much, I get sick. Here we have simple present, and in a result also simple present. We move now to the structure. The structure of zero conditional: if plus present simple plus present simple. If clause we have if plus simple present, and in the main clause also simple present. That is to say, if this thing happens in present, that thing happens. Okay? For example, if you heat ice, it melts. Other example, if it rains, the grass gets wet. This is general truth. Now we move to the uses. When we use the zero conditional, if we have, for example, rules. If you take your cell phone into class, it must be turned off. If you drink alcohol, don't drive. And when we have scientific facts and general truths, as we talked, if you heat water to 100 degrees Celsius, it boils. If you drop something, it falls. And other use, if we have cause and effect. For example, if you push the button, the volume increases. It is general truth. Here we have cause. Here we have cause, and this is the effect of the cause. If you close the door, it locks automatically. Other uses, if we have routine. For example, I wear my boots when I work. It is a routine. She uses glasses when she drives. Now we move to the other type of conditional, which is the type 1. The type 1 conditional is called the future real conditional. Okay, it is for future actions, and it is used to refer to the present or future where the situation is real. And the type conditional 1 refers to a possible condition and its probable result. In these sentences, the if clause is in the simple present and the main clause in the simple future. Here we have in if clause if plus simple present, and in the main clause simple future. Okay, that is to say, if this thing happens in future, that thing will happen. Okay, for example, if you don't hurry, you will miss the train. If it rains today, you will get wet. The first conditional sentence structure is also called the future possible, as we say, or real conditional. If I eat too much, I will get fat. This sentence structure is used to talk about the result. I'll get fat. This is the result that is likely to happen or is almost certain to happen in the future. Okay, if the condition in the if clause, if I eat too much, occurs, generally in the first conditional structure, the if clause has a 50% or better chance of happening. That is to say, if I eat too much, it's possible that I will get fat. I may not get fat, but it's more than likely that I will get fat if I eat too much. Okay, even though the sentence structure is used to talk about the future, but the condition clause if I eat too much uses the simple present tense. Now let's move to the form of the first conditional. The form is if plus simple present, and the main clause yes, we have will plus verb. As we see here, if clause condition and the main clause, that is to say, or result, if plus simple present in the if clause, and in the main clause simple future. If this thing happens, that thing will happen in future. Other examples, if it rains, I will wear a jacket. This is in future. If he goes to the game, he will buy a ticket at the stadium. Okay, now we move to the function of the first conditional, type 1. The type 1 conditional refers to possible condition and its probable result. These sentences are based on facts and they are used to make statements about the real world and about particular situations. We often use such sentences to give warning. And in type 1 conditional sentences, the time is the present or future and the situation is real. Here we have some examples to explain. If I have time, I'll finish that letter. What will you do if you miss the plane? Nobody will notice if you make a mistake. If you drop that glass, it will break. Okay? When do we use the conditional type 1? The first conditional is used for actions in the future that depend on other events. For example, if he works on Friday, we will go shopping on Saturday. This means the shopping will not happen if the working does not happen. It depends, okay? Shopping is dependent on working. Often when is used to show future plans. For example, when he arrives, we will eat dinner. I will buy a car when I find a job. The first one depends on the second. And here we have other uses when we have, for example, possibilities. We use the conditional type 1. For example, you will miss the train if you don't hurry. It is possible, okay, to happen. If I miss the train today, I drive to work. Other, if we have superstitions, okay, for example, if you see a penny on the ground and pick it up, it will bring you good luck. If you break a mirror, you will have 7 years of bad luck. And if we have also future plans, if you're going shopping today, I'll come with you. Other uses, if we have warning and threats. For example, if you don't come to my birthday party, I'll never speak to you again. It is a threat or warning, okay? If you eat too much ice cream, you'll make yourself sick. In type 1 conditional sentences, you can also use modals in the main clause instead of the future tense to express the degree of certainty, permission, or recommendation about the outcome. For example, if you drop that glass, it might break. This is the modal, okay? I may finish that letter if I have time. Now you will practice your understanding this lesson by doing these exercises. I let you know to think about the answers. Are you ready?